Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new live stream, and welcome to a midweek live stream as well. It's Tuesday evening here in Moscow. It's just past 9 p.m. here. I'm sorry for being a minute or two late. I like to make sure everything's working before I click start the stream, and for some reason, it suggests that I restart my computer. So I don't often do that. I leave my computer running a lot, which is recommended, and then magically it says to restart it. So I'm here live. Thanks to everybody who's also here as well. Sorry, my camera's a little bit higher today, so I feel like I'm staring directly at the chat and not necessarily up at the camera. I'm sorry. Normally I'm looking at the camera and the chat's lower down, so I hope it's okay. Yeah, let me know that you're getting the video nice and clear, and also the sound. If it's not perfect clear, you can also get the cog icon, depending on if you're on mobile or desktop or TV, and change the playback quality higher. So if you want to do that, you're welcome to, if it makes a difference. There's 32 likes or thumbs up on the video on this live stream already. Thank you so much. Perhaps we can get it to 50 or 100. Let's see. I did actually post this scheduled live stream out a lot earlier today. I know a lot of people tend to prefer Saturday or Sunday ones because maybe it's like a non-working day or it's the weekend. But I had a few things to do on the weekend, so I couldn't exactly match up the time of doing a live stream. There's a few people who chatted earlier than when I started, I think even as early as 4 p.m. Love Pug, thank you so much. Can't wait for the video. Perhaps this live stream, maybe you're watching now. Thank you. It's of code green this week. I'm not sure. Hi, Mark, what that means. Thank you so much. Love traveling with him. Thank you. We love Russell. Hopefully, because of his travels, many good people will travel to Russia too. Yeah, I think probably in the last, well, since I started my channel anyway, there's a lot more English-speaking YouTubers that are creating content in Russia, probably far more now in the last couple of years than ever before. I remember years ago, before even I had a channel, I was looking for content and struggled to find English-speaking content especially. Tell more about cultural life in Russia, about museums, traveling with BG. Yeah, I don't go to museums too often, actually very rarely. It's very difficult to film things in museums if you don't really know about them. I know a lot of stuff I do. I'm not exactly knowledgeable, but it's just a challenge to do that kind of content or that style of content. I know some people occasionally do, some other content creators do videos where they go to maybe like art museums. I'm just very, maybe not cultured enough for things like that. Maybe I should go to Stolova 57 or Cafe 57. It's a great Soviet-style dining establishment. Yeah, I was actually in GUM yesterday. I didn't actually go up to the third level. I just walked through the lower floor level, kind of just walked through there. And then ended up making the video at Petrovsky Passage or Passage. I'm pretty sure when I looked at the subtitles, it said Petrovsky Passage and then Passage again. But that second one's meant to be Passage. It's meant to be some kind of a French fancy word. Trailblazer, you're like number 10. Wow. Now we're up to 48. So thank you, whoever's doing likes. More boring shopping videos coming. Yes, I guess they are. Well, I don't have any planned, any ready. I've got 3 videos that I'm going to be putting on the channel that I've filmed. I've got 2 more videos still to come from Tashkent, Uzbekistan, where I was there last week. I'll talk about that a little bit briefly soon. There was a Russian comment here that I could translate because it let me. Gohorik Karpian and Stan. Russell, thanks for the videos. Looking forward to them. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much. If anyone does type in Russian, I can't read it. I can do like Google Translate on the other screen, but I can't read it directly from whatever you've typed. So I am cheating a little bit on some of them. John, thank you so much. Great. And enjoy them. Always enjoy the videos. Lots of information about stores and stuff in Russia. Thank you for all the Fireflux. Thank you. I know you're a long-time watcher. Love your intro, especially the part where I'm pointing to the house for Mr. Putin while pointing to Lenin's mausoleum. Yeah, they're kind of in front of each other, right? I've watched that back a couple of times. I really need to redo that, especially maybe just redo the thumbnail without the mask and stuff like that. I've always liked that intro. It was kind of pitched to me a long time ago to do one. So hopefully you're not too late. No, you're here on time. If you're here now still, even though I'm subscribed, you're not getting notifications. Yeah, I've noticed that in the last couple of videos, and that was one of the polls that I've just got for this stream as well. So 32% said they didn't get notification on the last 3 videos, and 69% said yes. So that's basically not this live stream, but the previous, so the shopping mall video in Petrovsky Passage, and then the previous 2 were the Pitorichka video that I did in Kaluga, which was on the weekend. And then the previous weekend was when I was in Tashkent at the supermarket there. So it's just interesting. Some of those aren't getting a lot of initial views, but they're getting views later. So I can trip with Russell. Yes. Via plugs. Glad to see you today. Thank you so much. Hello, Russell. You restart yours every night. Yeah, I probably need to do it more often, or at least renew it or refresh it. Let me just scroll down. Bearable, thank you so much for super chat. Hi, Russell. Thanks for that classy shopping mall video. Yes. Yeah, they call it an elite shopping center is the actual official description of it. I mean, ultra luxury or elite. I guess GUM in a way was that, which is the one that someone just mentioned about Stolova 57. GUM is the shopping center by Red Square. It's the same architect and same designer of the building. A lot of similarities with the roof as well. Petrovsky Passage is kind of much smaller. It's only 2 smaller passages, and a lot of it's taken up by Bosco, which is the, I guess, luxury department store. Very, very fancy when you go, especially on the upper level store when you walk through. The ladies were super nice. They were like inviting me in, come in, film more. And I felt a little bit out of place. So thank you, Bearable, for the super chat. And also a channel member as well. So thank you so much. If anyone does want to support the channel, depending on where you are in the world, there's the option of doing super chats and super stickers on a live stream. And then if you ever watch a video and you feel like helping out the channel while you're watching a video on a random day of the week at 3 in the morning, you can also do super thanks on a video that you're watching. You don't have to wait to do a live stream to do it. And then depending where you are in the world, there is also the option for donation alerts. There's the link in the description, also in the pinned comments. I've got the tab open for that on my other screen. The last time we probably had a live stream was 13 days ago. So it was 2 weeks ago when I did the last one. That's the last comments. Most of them for donation alerts come through during live streams. You can happily write something there and I'll read it out if you want to ask a question. You also can put your name or leave it anonymous. It's up to you on donation alerts. There is also PayPal. Oh my gosh, Boosty, which I don't talk about Boosty, but Boosty's there. Buy me a coffee. If anyone happens to be living in the world and they use Amazon, you can click my link from my description, go to Amazon, and then there's a micro payment that comes back to content creators if you buy something. All is good. $5. Oh, do I get paid for watching you? Well, I don't know how I can send you the money. I can send you. I've got 1,000 Indonesian rupiah coin right here. I can send you 1,000 rupiahs. So I'm gonna zoom in. It is. Look at that. Wow, that's cool. This is from when we were in Bali back in November. Every time I keep finding them in my different bags. Oh, that's a shame. It's not. Oh, there it goes. I guess that's one of the presidents, perhaps. I keep finding coins in my different bags, even like months later. Learn English with Russell. Yeah, I guess you could. Don't know how we can do it. More about Russia for free. That's true. Yeah, you can learn more about Russia at the same time, especially the market ones. Thanks. Yeah, I'm going to have a bazaar video, or bazaar, I guess I've got to call it. Love the Petrovsky Passage video. Yeah, that was suggested by someone on Telegram. So if anyone doesn't follow me on Telegram, Traveling with Russell channel, I post a lot of photos, and especially when I go out somewhere, I'll post photos on the train, on the bus, walking around. And then there's a chat. So if you chat in any of the posts, it'll go to a chat. There's about 700 people in the chat, over 2,200 people in the channel. People pitch ideas there as well. And someone said about going, there was a flower festival there. That's what I really went for. Then I noticed someone just commented, where show us more of the shopping mall and less of the flowers. I guess I should have made that clearer before I walked in, that I was really going to see the flowers more than the mall. So how did you like Uzbekistan? Uzbekistan was really good. I was only there for essentially 3 days. Last Friday, about lunchtime, I was sitting right here at the computer, and I realized that Australia and Uzbekistan were going to play football Saturday lunchtime. This was last Saturday, a week ago. And it was a women's Olympic qualifying playoff match. So there was an away match a home match for Uzbekistan in Tashkent. And then 5 days later, they played in Australia, which would have been last Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was last Thursday. They played back in Melbourne. So I booked a ticket. I flew that evening, 7 p.m. And then the match was at lunchtime on Saturday. And then I flew back to Moscow on Monday evening. So I had Sunday, Monday, well, most of Monday even, just to go around places and things like that. So I went to the Chozu Bazaar. I also went to a Plough Center, the National Plough Center. I went to a couple of outdoor parks as well. It wasn't particularly nice weather. It was snowing on the Saturday when the football was on. It was kind of cold and a little bit drizzly, kind of rain, snow kind of weather. So yeah, it was very cool. I'd love to be there in summer when it's nice weather. Interesting place. I mean, I've been to Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, so I would compare them quite similarly. Probably Tashkent's probably a little bit more advanced, if you call it that. I mean, it's still very Soviet, very USSR, very, it's not Russia, of course, but very Russian-looking places. Very busy place, a lot of traffic, a lot of cars. Every car on the road is a Chevy. About 80 or 90% of the cars on the road are Chevys. They've got a factory there that produces them domestically. Very, very few, if any, no Mercedes, no BMW, no Porsche, no Audi, which is very common in Moscow. And a lot more just compact cars and smaller cars. Yeah, very interesting place. Food was beautiful. Had amazing food every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stayed in a really nice hotel, very cheap hotel, which was roughly between the airport and the stadium, because I just wanted to stay close to that because of the football. But then I just took taxis everywhere, Yandex taxis, which were very cheap to get around. I mean, literally $2 or $3, you know, a couple of hundred rubles, 200, 300, 400. I don't think I even paid more than $3, $4 maximum for a taxi. And even a couple of times I took the luxury taxi, not the regular standard or economy ones. -4 degrees. Yes, actually, my computer says -2 here tonight, but probably the real feel's probably maybe -5, -7 outside. Shopping center video. No, you received the members only one. Yeah, I tend to put it earlier. I don't do it for long enough, and then I get too anxious that I want to release the video, that then I make it public. So I really should make more videos, more membership only earlier than I put them public. I'm sorry about that. Hi, Russell. We enjoy your shopping videos. Also love when you hop around the city. You're checking out the new train station this week too. Yes. Well, that was an older video from last year. If you've watched the one where I went on the big circle line, that was probably one of the funnest days that I had. I mean, even though I go alone to all these places, that week when they opened all the new stations, all of the big circle line stations, I think it was only the stations where they opened them new were free that day. And there was a ton of other train spotters and train buffs literally riding each station and getting off, taking photos and videos. And it was kind of interesting just to travel with everybody that day, because everyone was just going around to see everywhere that was new. Probably one of the most funnest days of making a video. Will you show us meat? You mean like going to a butcher shop or a supermarket where I show food? Help me with a beautiful Russian lady. Yeti Bella Blue. If you can't remember it, just say yellow blue bus. Yellow blue bus. Yeti Bella Blue. It's like I love you. That's an easy one too. I'll bring you to a supermarket, darling. Very happy for the live stream. Thank you, Ivan. Oh, Joanna, hello. Yeah, I know you've been asking about it, and also Vitaly as well. Do I have Discord? No, I've pretty much got everything except Discord. I do have a Discord account, but I don't use it except to look at one or two, I guess, Discord channels. I pretty much predominantly use Telegram because it's just easier. Nice to see you again. Could you please visit cities nearby Moscow, but outside the regions? Ishkinovograd, Lipetsk, Ivano. I'm trying to get up to Vladimir to go see Sam. And then I was in, when did I go? On Friday. What day is it? Not Friday. Tuesday. I was in Kaluga for literally overnight. I was there for, went in the day, came back the next day. And I went to a farmer's market, which I'll have a video probably later in the week. I'm trying to edit it today. I've been doing it slowly. I went to a food degustation and tasting from local farmers. Actually, there was farmers from 20 cities around Russia that came to this event. And there was a few from Kaluga region as well. I don't really buy any clothes. Pretty much everything that I own at the moment, I bought in Australia back in November. I bought my winter jacket here, but I got that from Sportmeister. So don't really go to clothes shops at all. You'd like to see new projects under construction. I guess seeing something like the train stations or metro stations. I know they're going to be extending my line to Potopovo station, so I'll definitely go to do that. Anonymous, thank you. I took into account your updated crazy idea. Thank you for the donation alerts. So the crazy idea is trademarked in your comment. Someone's just done a donation alert. Anonymous, thank you. So I've got my crazy idea, which I've talked about. I probably won't mention it in this video, but the plan is to try to fan fund me buying an apartment. We are in the process of looking and buying an apartment here. And if everybody donates, well, 44 rubles, actually, yeah, you're saying it's less now, right? So 44 rubles, 0.6 kopek, 0.06 is, if everybody gives me 44 rubles and 06, I can buy an apartment tomorrow. I should be doing one of those. I don't sleep, or I don't switch off the live stream until we reach the total. Well, that'd be a crazy one. Malenki Poruski, Lornaz, Chut Poruski. I cannot write Russian unless it's a very basic word. Yes. A video just popped on my feed and I enjoyed it, so I subscribed. I like to see other places and the way they live. Thank you. Just here for entertainment. Thank you so much. Say something in Russian, and how do you find the Cyrillic alphabet? Pretty much I learned the letters of the alphabet from the metro stations. Осторожно, Zvidia Krovaytsa, Slebostaya stanция, Krabopkinskaya. Any plans to visit Baku, Azerbaijan? A great place. No plans, no, Sergey. Unless you're inviting me, and there's a great reason to go. I'd love to go to all these Stan countries. I know I don't like saying it. And a lot of Aussies say it, the Stan countries, and it's a very common word for people not from Russia, or really not from this region. We call them the Stan countries. I still want to go back to Bishkek and visit my neighbor who's still there. He's invited me to come back in the next couple of months. Why is Telegram is easier? Because it's very similar to WhatsApp. It's a messaging application. You can also join channels and groups. A lot of live, well, not necessarily live, but there's a lot of instant news groups that you can follow. I don't need a VPN to use it. So things like Facebook, I would. Instagram, I would. Twitter, LinkedIn, everything like that, I need to. And I'm not really a person that switches VPNs on and off around the clock. So I just use Telegram. Where it's very sunny and 70 degrees in Canton, Ohio. Nice weather. Yeah, we'll get that in about 3 or 4 months here. 3 or 4 months, maybe a little bit longer. Whoa, what's that one say just above there? Let's just copy and paste this one. Who is Russian here? Right. Oh, there we go. If someone is Russian, Lujika from Praga. Praga's not a place in Russia, is it? Unless it is, and I don't know it. Visit Tula, it's amazing. Arsenal Museum, city center, etc. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of Kaluga. We didn't even go to the main train station. I took the train from Kiev railway station. Funny enough, it goes right past Perlivka where I live, and it was an express train. It's 2 hours to get to Kaluga 2 station. It's not Kaluga 1, Kaluga 2. We're about 45 minutes away in a taxi to get to the hotel. And then we went the next morning to this food event or food fair, and that was another 30 minutes away. And then it was about 40 minutes back in the taxi. I probably could have just took the taxi home. It was that much out of the way to get back to the train station. Yeah, I have to go. It has to go along my line to get to Kaluga. It's about, if you take the every station train from here, it's about 2 hours. But the express train will be about an hour if there was one. But you've got to take it back from the center of Moscow. Krasny Karai. Hello and good day to everybody. Love pugs. Oh, hello. I mentioned you right at the beginning of the stream. I'd love to visit all sorts of cities. Most of the time I get invited to visit them, or someone suggests or recommends or, brings me along somewhere. Like going to this farm fair, somebody else was going to it, and they asked me to come along or tag along or whatever you want to call it. So good evening to everybody. Yes, it is now 9:25 here in Moscow or Russia, depending on where you are in the world. Oh, you forgot to write your name in the donation. I know you've got the crazy idea trademarked, so I know that's definitely you. Prigozhin. Oh my gosh, now I can't read a few of these Russian comments. If I look on the other screen. What if you don't write Udmurt? I'm not sure what that means. Very old. I hope you can explore a little bit when you visit Sam. Yes. Sam's really into going to all these places. He's got the second channel called B-Road Russia. And he's right into going out for drives around Vladimir region and it's called the Golden Triangle of Russia or Moscow. So he's right into all of that. Nice to see you getting out of Moscow a bit. Yes. Yeah, twice kind of in the same week. Yeah, flying to, as an Australian, you can go to Uzbekistan visa-free. So literally, I just gave my passport on entry. I think he just asked me, what am I doing here? I told him I was going to go see the football, see the Matildas play. And he's like, welcome to Tashkent, and gave me my passport back. So I'm pretty sure there's no time limit on how long you can stay. I told him did I even tell him I'm flying back on Monday? I think I might have mentioned it. It was a very quick interaction at the immigration. Heavy rain in Ohio. Yeah, it's not rained here. It's been pretty much dry for a whole week. Now the snow's slowly melting. No, it wasn't hot. It was pretty much right about 0 Celsius or -1 or -2. I'd say it's probably more -1, -2, maybe -3. I know there was a big deal about the football because it was like lightly snowing when the football was on. Alex Mundell, hey, evening. Hello. How safe do I feel? I feel very safe here. I don't have any worry and stress. I've not for all the years I've lived here. Probably the only place I feel stressed is like when you're at the train station, like when you go to the train station or the airport. Even coming out of the airport in Tashkent, the guy sitting next to me on the plane, he spoke a little bit English. He said, "Oh, I'll help you walk through the airport." And I bought a SIM card in the airport that the guy put right in my phone for me. And then I used my Yandex Yandex taxi app, Yandex Go, to book a taxi. And then he even walked out. The guy walked out with me. He met his friend that he was going to his house, I think. And then he said, "Oh, I'll just help you get in your taxi and everything." And there was a million taxi drivers and drivers trying to offer lifts everywhere. I mean, the hotel where I stayed was about 12 minutes away from the airport. It was literally down the road. But yeah, that's the only place. I just don't like all these guys just stressing and having a go at you, because they see that you're a tourist and you don't have any idea of anything. I mean, obviously, I researched a little bit, at least that day when I booked the ticket, about how far the hotel was, how easy it was to get there, and things like that. So even in Moscow, I don't have any worry going anywhere, walking around anywhere. It's not a problem for me personally. So do vlogs. Yeah, I tend to do title-specific videos versus vlogging. Vlogging is more like just filming everything and anything. It's not really exactly what I do for my videos, but I probably the closest thing was the one where I did the Tucker Carlson walk, where I was at the train station. I went over to the burger place, then I went over to the supermarket, all in one video. Are you interested in basically about Russia only, or even in post-Soviet spaces? For me, anything is interesting to see. If you're asking me, I mean, going to Tashkent and then walking around the city a little in the center, just the size of the buildings and the kind of how vast and how wide open spaces everywhere is, and wide boulevards and roads and things like that. 11 in the morning, Janice, where you are. Nice time. Know that March is a winter month in Moscow. Yes. Yeah, pretty much March last year was when we flew to Australia for my dad's birthday. And I remember, I don't really know what date we left now. My wife knows all these dates. It was snowing on the taxi on the way to the airport. And we came back basically a month later. We were there right on a month between Bali and Australia. Excuse me. And it was completely like no snow, and all the snow had melted in that course of a month. So yeah, I'm pretty sure in the next 2 weeks, I'm sure the weather will dip down a little and maybe snow again. From Scott in Michigan. Thank you, Scott. Michigan, USA. Nice. 2 minutes, 11 o'clock in the evening. Well, that's pretty cool. So Janice is 11 in the morning. So she's somewhere in the US, I would imagine. And then in 2 minutes, 11 in the nighttime. We have some very good friends here in Aprelivka, and they're from Tyumen originally. And for New Year, Russian New Year, her friends came from Tyumen to Moscow to celebrate New Year together with us. That was really nice. Is Russia more developed than Uzbekistan, Moscow? But yeah, definitely Moscow would be far more developed, far more. You probably couldn't compare it. I mean, I've been to, I guess, even if I compare Ufa, although Ufa doesn't have a metro because it's a little bit more hilly. I went on the metro just a few stops between the football and back to downtown. I met a couple and another guy that we went to watch the match with, and then we went and had dinner afterwards. After the match, we took the metro back to the center. The metro just feels a little bit older and needs a little bit of repair here and there. And there were basically even the turnstiles. When you go through the gates in the metro in Moscow, you tap your card, your Troika card or your bank card, whatever, and it's got electronic gates, and it's also got recognition as well if you want to set it up with your card. Whereas in Tashkent, you actually bought a ticket. It was cheaper though. It was only 20 cents, Australian cents. So it would have been about 30 cents US, I guess. And you got a paper ticket with a barcode on it that you tapped onto the gate, and it just opened these like little dividers. It was very older version of like 10, 15 years ago Moscow. So I'd definitely say Moscow is far more developed. I didn't go outside of the city, so I can't really compare that, in terms of what it's like regionally. But they do there is TS. Well, there's the immigration or passport control, and then when you go collect your bag, and then there's customs. But customs is pretty straightforward in Russia and in Uzbekistan. You just literally walk through, and they might ask you to put your bag through the scanner. But yeah, there's definitely immigration where you line up and they check your passport and everything, and they take a photo of you. Sometimes there's fingerprinting depending on which one you go to. But very straightforward. There's no pre-check thing like they've got in America. It's pretty much everybody lines up. Either there's basically the Russian passports if it's back in Moscow, or non-Russian passports. Hope your wife's okay and shopping till she drops. Yeah, she's in bed already. I already told her I was starting at 9 o'clock the live stream. She had a couple of clients today, so I don't know what her schedule is tomorrow. I didn't ask. Yeah, she's doing good. We had a cat. We were looking after a cat for the last week until yesterday. Then our neighbor came back to pick the cat up. She'd gone away for a trip for a week. So we had a cat with us called Prussia. I think I posted 1 or 2 photos on Telegram. My wife took a ton of photos. Well, that was last weekend. Well, and then also while I was in Kaluga and in Tashkent. So my wife had the cat looking after the house rather than me. You need to be well versed about art to do that. Yes, that's the thing, Kat. I can probably walk in and make something up or look at something on the wall. I wouldn't, that's the thing with me, right? I'd miss looking at a Picasso on the wall or whatever, Russian artist, not Picasso, but, and then I'd end up seeing another one that I have no idea about. It's less famous, and rain is heading our way. Ooh, maybe. I didn't even look at the schedule of the weather at the moment. Yes, park cup. Ooh, that's a lot of words. Maybe some parks and gardens once the weather gets better. Absolutely, yes. Yeah, once it clears up and I can wear my normal walking shoes or my trainers, and you're not in fear of slipping on ice when you're holding the camera and you're looking down, watching the paths where you walk, it's much easier to make videos. No. Do you drive? Never seen you in a car, bro. No, we don't have a car here. No, I catch public transport everywhere. There's more than enough buses, trains, ferries, metro. The public transport system in Moscow and in other cities as well is very, very good. Even in Tashkent, there was the metro there. There was public buses. They had trolley buses. I just found with the Yandex Go, which is the online taxi app, it was so cheap to get a taxi and get somewhere quicker than it was to take public transport. Yes, we don't have a car. It would be helpful a couple of days a week, but the rest of the time, it's just easy to get public transport somewhere. You're not having to struggle with traffic, getting across Moscow, back across Moscow to come home. So, river trip. Yeah, I did the river tram video recently. If you've seen that, the one where I went on the one that breaks the ice. The other ones don't. There's only a few of them that run in winter because they need the special ice-breaking hulls on them. I know the Radisson ones do as well. I did a video when I started the channel about the 99 ruble river trip that went from Moscow city over to where is Zaradi Park or Red Square. You're a good man, Russell. Have a good time. Thank you, Rumble channel from Yaroslavl. Здравствуйте. Thank you. 137,000 subscribers. You're a nice guy. Thanks for saying that I'm a nice guy. I appreciate it. Russia are very large and difficult. Do you have experience from families visiting? Is it really such a problem? I've only ever done my own ones. My parents or family haven't come to Moscow. I found them quite easy. It's all online. You basically go to the consulate website of the city or country you're from. So for Australia, there's one in Sydney, one in Canberra. I think there's only the Sydney one that you fill out. You fill out everything online, then you print it out. I think it's even back to back. You've got to print it back to back. Most of it's just about general travel history. So where have you traveled in the last lot of years? What cities have you visited? What's your previous jobs and things like that? It's very straightforward. Then you normally attach travel plans like a flight itinerary. Normally, like I know when I did it when I was coming initially with tourist visas, I'd go to the travel agent and get them to print like a preliminary itinerary that I attached with the visa application. You post it off to Sydney. You put a return mailer in there to send it back, and you get a money order from the post office to pay the fee for the visa. And then there's like a 7-day, 10-day. You can pay for an express one or a not express one. The biggest problem in Australia is mailing it from Perth to Sydney, then mailing it from Sydney back to Perth. That's most of the time it takes. When I visited, it was only -10, but the wind made it feel like -25. Yes, when it's -25. Yeah, especially because of the rivers. Like in Moscow, we've got the river that runs right through the center. And then also in St. Petersburg as well, it's a lot of like almost like canals. So a lot of the cold weather when you're in the center, especially when it's cold days, it's because of the river. So like if you go to Gorky Park, for instance, which is next to the river, on a cold day, it's really cold. So you definitely feel that difference. Yeah, the shopping is not comparable with America and Russia. Yeah, shopping centers will always be a thing in Russia because of the weather as well. So a lot of people go to shopping centers when it's not good weather. In summertime, it's the opposite. They go to parks. You go anywhere walking. And then the shopping centers have a lot more than just shops. So there's, cinemas we know about, food courts, the Avia Park, the biggest one. It's got the ice skating rink. It's got kids' play centers galore. There's trampoline parks. In Avia Park, there's also a 2-story hardware store called Obi. There's furniture stores, so there's, far more to do at a shopping center in Russia. So you can go there and almost make a day of it if you wanted to. Last time I was at Avia Park, I went for a walk around. There's a park next to it as well, Chodinske Pole. And I started the video off there, then I walked inside. So yeah, that's the whole thing with shopping centers, is because there's just more to do. And then also the population here, you're looking at 15 to 17 million people in Moscow region. So, where people live is where they go shopping at. They're not necessarily all going to drive to the other side of Moscow to go to a shopping center when the one where you live has got just as many things. I mean, I know, like, for me, I go there because I go make videos in different ones, but my wife wouldn't go to the opposite side of Moscow to go to a shopping center when our local one, Salareva, which is about 30 minutes away, has got every shop we possibly need. Those that are not found in other countries. Yeah, food review videos are another tough thing to do because you need to find somewhere in the corner to film. You need to be a little bit away from everybody. I mean, I don't mind doing them in the food courts and fast food places. Someone did mention about doing a video about like street food and doing something where you show shawarmas and different things like that. So again, that might be something maybe when the weather gets better to go and do that, because obviously when you're dressed up with the coat on and the gloves, and then you might have a beanie on, you're holding the camera, it's a little bit trickier to do. Sick and tired of the cold and snow. My wife is exactly the same way. So yes, she's exactly feeling, I think every lady in Russia is that way. The men just grumble and don't mention it so much. We've got central heating. Actually, we've got it on in our apartment right now. There's radiator heaters. Got one in the kitchen. Actually, there's one behind the kitchen table here. Probably can't see it. It's right there. There's one on the wall in the lounge room here off to the side. And then there's one in the bedroom. So we've got central heating. So there's basically a pipe system that runs through where hot water's running through the pipes to heat these radiator bars. So yeah, that comes on depending on the weather in Russia. It'll come on once the weather drops down at the start of winter. There's a certain degree where it gets below that, they'll switch all of the heat exchangers on and the boiler houses. We can actually see our boiler house out our window, so I can see the steam coming from the chimney. So I know it's definitely switched on. If there's no steam from that chimney, I know the heaters are off. There's also a radiator. We've got a towel rack, a heated towel rack in the bathroom, so it keeps that nice and warm. Then a lot of new apartments, depending on how old it is, they may have underfloor heating as well. This place doesn't have underfloor heating. See, the last place we didn't have it in. The first place originally, 2 different places we've lived in have had it. So public transport until the age of 26. I heavily relied on them. Yes. Big fan of public transport. Yeah, I think in Moscow too, there's a lot of fanatics or fans of public transport and go out on the weekends and go and ride the metro or the trams or the even those river boats and things like that, because it's really inexpensive to do it too. So it's not an expensive day out. If kids like that, you can go with a couple of kids, pay a few dollars for the day, take them out for something to eat somewhere. How well known is Spanish artists? I don't know about how well the artists are known here. And your name's Pablo as well. Pablo Picasso, Pablo Ramirez. Does the time change there? I don't think it does. Daylight savings. This happens this weekend. Doesn't Russia have like 9 or 10 time zones? Something crazy like that. Like the time zone between like here and Vladivostok. There's so many time zone changes. For that, there's many drunk people in the streets. There isn't many drunk people in the streets. Maybe only on some public holidays when there's normally a lot of commemoration days of different events and different historical events in Russia. But it's really, truly not a problem. Honestly, you can walk around. I could go outside now. Okay, it's 9 o'clock at night. If I was still out in Moscow walking in the center or in some of the suburbs or a park, no worries at all. I mean, people are a lot more, I wouldn't say, you can say kind to each other, but there's a lot more, I guess, manners and public awareness. I don't know what the right words are. Peter, thank you for a super sticker. Thank you so much. €1. Nice. Thank you. And also Bear Bull and Anonymous, the famous Anonymous. No daylight saving time in Arizona or Hawaii. Oh, yeah, no. I remember when we were on the cruise ships. Even when we traveled from different parts from Miami over to Texas and stuff like that, we'd do 1 hour forward, 1 hour back. And even when we did the cruises, they slowly stopped doing it a lot on the cruise ships because guests would mess up the times of their dinner. They'd mess up the times getting off in the ports. Australia Post is bad. Yes. Yeah, you kind of, even if the only way you can do it now is to do next day delivery or this 2-day guarantee, the express post. But, when they tell you it's like delivered overnight, it's really not. It's normally an extra day or so. The center of Tashkent was completely rebuilt anew due to the results of the 1966 earthquake. Completely destroyed. That's interesting, Sergey. I don't know any real history about Tashkent. So that'd be interesting to maybe look up something like that and see if I can Google something or watch a YouTube video. Because for me, I guess maybe going around Tashkent was interesting to see everything, going to the bazaar. I'll have a video on that walk around to the bazaar. So it's going to be, well, it's not really a shopping center, but it's an indoor-outdoor market. And it makes you realize why people don't go to supermarkets when there's that kind of a food market. It's okay depending on where it's going, right? Am I a Perth Glory supporter? I am, George, but obviously I'm not there to support them, but I would go to matches if there was something on the last 2 times I was in Australia. Well, in November, I went to the Perth Wildcats twice because my sister and her son and husband are season ticket holders. I think they're also ticket holders for Perth Glory. I'm sure they are. I haven't been there since I was living there. It would be 3 years ago now. My sister's son is mad keen on any sport. Stan wants to know, am I being paid for my extravagant lifestyle? Do I buy comments and likes? I don't do anything. I just make videos. That's it. It's yesterday, by the way, I was going to a shopping center to Crocus City, if anyone's from Moscow. And I was thinking that they had an expo on for fishing. And it happened to be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I went there Monday. And I got there and the guy's like, oh, see you next year. Like he was trying to be friendly. And I'm like, I've come all the way out there. So I ended up just going to the shopping center there, to Crocus City shopping center to Vegas. And I went and had lunch in the food court. I was the only one in the food court because Monday, there's no one at the shops, right? And then I thought, well, what can I do? So I thought I'll just get the metro back to Moscow Center. So I got off at Biblioteka Imeni Lenina, which is Lenin Library, and then walked down to Alexander Garden, walked through Red Square, walked through GUM, walked over to Bolshoi Theater, and then I went and made the video in Petrovsky Passage. So, and that really cost me just 2 metro tickets. And lunch was a couple of, well, what was it, about $4 I paid for lunch. Yeah, a lot of fires in Texas. I saw that. Yeah, crazy story about the fires in Texas. I must say the shops in Russia seem very good prices and very good selection. Yeah, I mean, I guess some people will say that the prices have gone up and things are more expensive. I guess at the end of the day, it really depends on what you want and need and what your shopping habits are. I mean, I don't go clothes shopping. My wife does. She buys things online as well, but she likes to go to the shopping center every now and again. We live a very normal lifestyle. You know, we're not, I mean, Petrovsky Passage there, I would never go shopping there. I mean, I would even be a bit worried about what I'm wearing to walk in there. Even I felt like I had to talk softer on the video as well. Yeah, I mean, it's still cheaper here than it is in Australia at the end of the day. I mean, it's not right to compare that because you can't compare the cost of living with salaries and stuff. It's very difficult. What is the tax in Russia when you buy stuff? I don't remember. Is it something like 13% or 12%? I think prices are included in the price of a product. So I keep forgetting to mention that. Like if you buy something in a supermarket that's 100 rubles or call it $1, that's the price. Then the tax would be included in it. If you happen to get a receipt, you can see what that included tax is. Clock will go forward into March when daylight saving. Oh, in Romania they have daylight saving. Wayne, I just read, if you're from Romania, about the tennis player. She's got her doping sentence reduced down to 9 months. I forgot her name. Hello, Russell and chat. Peter, yes. Hello. I know you sent a super chat. Alex, thank you for being a member. Oh, you're a new member. Thank you for being a member. I will say it a lot and I'll repeat it. I'm sorry, but I don't do enough for members. I'm sorry. I do post the videos a little bit earlier. I do occasionally post on the community tab, members posts. Really, it's more about supporting the channel as a person who wants to support the channel. And that's your way to do it. I did introduce a second level of the membership because I keep getting told I need to increase the price of the membership. So I should have a, I'm just making it up here. $500 a month level, $1,000 a month level. You can't do that on YouTube. But for people who do want to support the channel to that level, it's really more about just being a supporter of the channel, and that's the way that you want to do it. I hope that makes sense. Cities are not. Kat says Moscow is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, probably yesterday wasn't the nicest. Well, actually, today was probably even more overcast. I mean, if you look at the video when I went on the electric river tram, which was probably about a month ago now, that beautiful blue sky day, if you can get one of those days and go for a walk around Moscow, it's just another different place altogether. And then obviously when it comes now to springtime and the snow goes away, you get a different feeling. And there's a different sense when you go out somewhere, even if you just go to a local park where you live. I mean, I can go to a local park here. Can't afford heating in Germany. Oh, well, Flex. It's not that bad, is it? I don't think it is. I think Germany was one of the countries that's sort of struggled a lot in the last 2 years because of isn't the gas they were supplying through Russia and stuff like that. If you can believe the government, they are trying to end daylight saving in Canada. What's it going to do if that happens? This is what we complain in Perth why we don't have it in WA. Perth, the cows won't milk, the kids won't go to sleep, the curtains will fade. You need to start making all those complaints about it. Do you pay fixed prices for heating? My wife does that. I don't know how she pays. I know we're renting here, so I know that we pay basically for water, electricity, and then heating as an additional payment on top of our monthly rent. It's very little though. I would say it's probably not even $20 a month. It's less than $20 a month that we're paying for water, electricity, and heating. The temperature right now it says -2 on the computer. What does it say on my phone? The phone's a little bit more accurate normally. It says it's -3. And the real feel was -7. Partly cloudy, no precipitation. Yeah, no rain in the next couple of hours. It's very good, this map. You just press that. It tells you where I am. You can see Moscow there. If I just go a little bit over, you can see the ring of Moscow there, and then I'm where that little red dot is in the southwest of Moscow. You can even tell them there's no snowing. So I'll just tell them. You can even just let them know there's no snowing where I live, and then if enough people do that, it populates the weather a little bit better again. So we've actually got the window. I've got the window to the lounge room open right here, just to basically equalize the temperature a little. If you have the because we've got double glazing windows, and the heating in the apartment, it gets very warm in here very quickly. It's 26 degrees in the apartment right now. This is the balcony temperature. I've got the sensor inside the balcony, not outside. I don't know why I do that, but it's 26 degrees in here. That's why I've got the window open to let some cold air in. Russia doesn't have winter and summertime. It definitely does, Stefan. I'm not sure where you're from. Well, there's 11 time zones in Russia. Thank you. Okay, so so I went to a dog expo. I made a video on it. That was at Crocus City. The cat expo, they've had a couple of them. I need to check the dates again. There's a shopping center before you go into Vdenhar on the left-hand side. It's a very old, almost like a big Rinuk kind of style shopping center. And they have a cat expo there about once a month where people buy and sell cats. And there's a cat parade. I don't know. I've not been to that, but I want to go to it. There was an earthquake in Tashkent the other day. I didn't hear about that. Bazaar. Yes, bazaar. I keep wanting to say bazaar. But could you buy a house together somewhere in the future in Russia? Yeah, well, or not a house. We're going to buy an apartment because it's easier and there's a lot less maintenance and upkeep to an apartment. You can literally just lock the door, walk out and do what you like and come home. A house, you've got a lot more maintenance, like things like snow removal, and then gardens and things like that. We're not really at that level of living in a house yet. Gothenburg, Sweden. Oh, did I just say Sweden? Tommy. Thank you. I guess Tommy is your first name. Gothenburg. Stefan Edberg was one of my idols when I was growing up. I played tennis in, I just played tennis at a grass court tennis club in Perth. We all loved his like crazy backbend when he did his serving. He was a very good grass court serve and volley tennis player. Village Live corruption. Stan, not yet. I guess in the center of Moscow, it's very high priced. Yes, definitely. Closer to the center of Moscow, definitely the prices go up. Yeah, we don't have any great-great-grandmothers who have an apartment in the center of Moscow. It would be nice. My wife's from Ufa, which is a few hours by plane from here. We'll do it now. Oh, thank you for reminding everybody. Wild Dead Wolf. We've got 138 thumbs ups or likes. Thank you of everyone who's done that. That's very nice of you. Also, when the live stream ends, you're more than welcome to comment on the video afterwards. Also, the last 3 videos, if you haven't seen them and want to catch up. So the last video I put was today, which was the luxury or elite shopping center video, really showing the flowers and a bit of a walk around. The other one was from Pitorichka in Kaluga, 200 kilometers from Moscow, which really the supermarket looks the same, but people told me afterwards that there's so many different smaller local Kaluga-owned supermarkets in Kaluga that I should have gone to. I didn't really have enough time because I was going to this farmer's fair, and it was basically arrive the night before, go to the farmer's fair, get the train back. So definitely, if I can get a chance to go back again. And then the other video was, what was the other one? 3 I did. Oh, and then the supermarket in Tashkent. Did a walk around of a supermarket there. Now, if anyone watches that video, you need to let me know maybe in the comments of that video, the Tashkent supermarket video. Do you notice a difference in the quality or the sound of that video? Because I used a different device to make that video. And I'm curious if anybody noticed a difference. Viewers, your setup. What equipment are you using, including camera, tripods? Yeah, I should have done that, Jackie, a long time ago, just to show I film with my phone, of course. But I guess this setup, I should do something about that. And I need to tidy the desk first to do that, though. The desk is this is the only place in the whole house that I've got. So I have stuff everywhere on this desk. But I'd have to tidy up to do that video. You know that, and that is why you don't do true comparisons. I can understand that, Robert. Yes, I know other people like to talk about the price of things and things like that. You know, the problem is, you know, in Australia, so most of my life, let's call it, including, well, living here and before that, I was working on cruise ships. So I was only spending a month or 2 at home every year. And that was really just staying with parents. I'd arrive back, come stay with my parents for a few weeks or a month, go on a holiday, maybe to Bali, come back to Perth, fly back to the cruise ships. So I never really had anywhere 100% that I was settled that I could make that comparisons about things. And then when we were in Australia during COVID, it was about 1.5 years, my only answer to myself was, because I didn't live with my parents, we rented an apartment, was as long as we can pay the bills, as long as we can afford to live, we're good. So as long as we can pay rent, we had to pay electricity. Water was very small, excess water, because it was a communal apartment building. And then our phone bills, or our mobile phone bills. And that was it. As long as we could pay those bills, I was completely okay with any other things that cost something. You know, because if we needed something, we'd buy it. If we couldn't afford it, we don't buy it. And that's the same here in Moscow. We're trying to find an apartment that's within our means of what we can afford to pay for it. You know, I mean, this whole fan funding thing and crazy idea thing, the 44 ruble thing. I mean, I'd love to make that work and make buying an apartment easier and quicker and smoother. But it doesn't happen that way, right? I mean, we all have to live within our means. Don't worry, this way I won't forget tipping. I'm not sure. Would you do a cooking video for Valentine's? Well, Valentine's is gone now, but we've got International Women's Day on the 8th in a couple of days' time. I'm trying to see if I can convince my wife to do another live stream for that. Live almost every day. Bit of nonsense. Yeah. Okay. So is that what I'm saying, Blex? Some people charge 10 euros a month for memberships, but those people are live almost every day. Yeah, right. I guess it kind of compensates that. I do maybe one live stream a week, and that, I mean, I'd like to do a couple a week if I could. Yeah, the membership was kind of added because people asked for it, and then a few people kept asking me to increase the price of the membership. So I've just put in another level there. So yeah, gas is unobtainium here in Germany. Great Northern Exotic Garden. Oh, hello. We were watching together the live stream from vidIQ. How's it going? Yeah, I set this up earlier this afternoon to do a live stream tonight. I normally do a Saturday or Sunday live stream. If you want more help with your channel, so Great Northern Exotic Garden, if anyone wants to watch a YouTube channel, he has a channel about, I guess, cactuses and exotic plants, I guess is the best way to describe it. He lives in England, in the UK, and he talks about the growing of plants and caring for them and caring for them, I guess, in the weather, in UK weather. So if anybody's into gardening YouTube channels, might be worth checking out his channel. I watched a couple of videos briefly today, and I helped him with a few suggestions about his channel. And the easiest way for me to do it is to do maybe like a Zoom call or something, and I can give you a quick 10, 15 minutes, talk about things. -3, no, that's in Celsius, Janice. So -3 Celsius, basically about, I guess it'd be about 30, 40 Fahrenheit, I guess, depending on how you look at it. +15 in southern parts of Russia now. Yes. I keep getting told this by my wife, that there's other places that are warmer in Russia than in Moscow. Russia doesn't have daylight saving. Oh, white winter and a green winter. It's definitely not green here yet. Ingushetia. Will I be going to some of the southern regions? If I can get an invite to go to some places, or I'd love to do these sort of places and do like a tour, where you do like an organized 3 or 4 or 5 day tour to some of these places. I mean, Tashkent is pretty easy. Now I went there, I can literally know to fly back. Even I'd stay at that same hotel again and be able to see the city areas. I'd love to go to these places, just go there and see them. And that would really be, I wouldn't say it's a dream of mine to go to all these places. My real main dream, okay, I've got about 7 dreams. The real main dream is to do the Trans-Siberian Railway. That's one of the travel dreams that I have. Great show. Take care. Hope you talk again. Thank you. Food time for you. Pat Rafter was great. Yes. And Pat Cash. Remember when he beat Lendl at Wimbledon, and it was Cash is better than a Czech, because he was from Czechoslovakia at the time, right? Oh my gosh. Cash is better than a Czech. I just remember that line so vividly. And Pat Rafter he won 2 US Opens. Pat Rafter did. He's another Australian hero. Pat Cash, I'm not sure what he's doing now. I think he's doing coaching around the place. I don't know exactly. Thank you, Brian, for the super sticker. Thank you. What's the picture? Race quit. It doesn't show it on the other screen. I'm sorry. Thank you for $20 super sticker. That's really very nice of you. Let's celebrate your first super on a live stream. Wow. I think that means like on all of YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Thank you, Brian. It's very nice of you to support the channel that way. Pretty much, I've said this many, many times. All the money from YouTube, well, it goes back into YouTube. So it funds going on the trip like that to Tashkent. I did make 3 videos. I'll have 2 more coming out. One about the food market, and a second one I'll keep as a surprise. I did a kind of a vlogging video as a 3rd video. So thank you for what you do, as Russian can't help. While you are showing how nice Russia is, your audience might think by mistake it represents the whole country. Yeah, that's true. Soup, I get that a lot. Even I know that Russia's not Moscow. Moscow's not Russia. I totally agree. I mean, even going to Ufa, where my wife is from, and then going to Davlekanova, where her parents were from. I mean, it's such a difference. And it's like going to the countryside, which is really Russian countryside, right? But the same in Australia. Yeah, houses in the city center come up when people pass away. Why not to buy that? Yes. Or it gets handed down from family to family to family. Do you grow any plants on your balcony? In this apartment, we don't. No, I would like to. I know a lot. If you look out the window and look in a lot of people's balcony windows now, there's a lot of people with those like grow lights on, because a lot of people would have dachas or country houses that they go to, well, in spring and then summer, to grow plants and flowers and vegetables and fruits. So a lot of people are already doing seeding on their balconies right now and growing things ahead of that. So if you look out the window and see all these grow lights on the different balcony windows, they're preparing their seedlings. A lot of people in Russia go to the go to the supermarkets, or go to the maybe nurseries and buy seeds and plant from seeds, and they literally have the trays on their balconies and are growing things on their windowsills in their kitchen if they don't have a balcony. We don't. I used to have in our old apartment a palm tree. You know those, like, if you've ever been to IKEA, in the plant section in IKEA, you can get a palm tree for a few dollars. And I had that for a few years. And then when I went back to the cruise ships and came back again, my wife's like, "Oh, it died." I think she forgot to water it. But we really should. And I'm sorry we don't. Weed, for example. Oh, everything frozen? What's happened? Oh my gosh. I'm going to move around less. Jackie, thank you for the super sticker. If the volume is working, what has gone wrong? Everything is working. If anybody can see me, let me know. Testing. Thank you, Janice. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Jackie, for $9.99 super sticker. That's very nice of you. It's like a little cat or an animal. Oh, Jackie. Did I say Janice? Jackie. Oh my God. I was so panicked when everything froze up just then that I... Oh, okay. Focus. Oh, where are we here? Oh, what's going on? My computer is... The chat has gone... Well, my chat has gone crazy. Sorry, everybody. What happened? Oh, Russell said it was 26 in equal to 78 in the apartment. Yeah, it's 25.9 now. It's dropped down. This is the little sensor that it's on. That sits on my desk permanently here. And there's no influence of heat from the computer or the monitor. The computer's off to the side. So what happened to the other apartment you bought? My wife still owns that. It's rented out. It's on another part of Moscow region. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from here. Well, by public transport, it's about an hour and a half away. That's basically what my wife bought quite a lot of years ago. It's rented out. We fixed the kitchen. If you watch the older videos, yeah, the guy left the couch, needed upgrade. Yes, our neighbor took that couch. Our neighbor came and helped us move out some of the old furniture. And I thought he was going to take it. I said to him, "Well, what are we doing with it? Are we going to take it to like a recycling place or like a city dump or something, or the tip?" He's like, no, I'm going to take it back to our dacha, to our country house. So I don't know what he did with that, but he took also some kitchen cupboards. Yeah, we bought the couch off Avito, which is similar to Facebook Marketplace. So that day he picked us up here. We drove to the apartment where we bought that where we bought the sofa from. So we brought the new sofa and he took the old sofa home. He took the kitchen cabinets home as well. Had a sink and everything. And then we had the new kitchen put in by a guy. Did I miss the updates? I don't think there was really any. We're just talking about some of the old videos or the current videos on the channel. Yeah, so that's my wife's apartment. I want to buy something myself. Here in Russia, you don't necessarily have like joint ownership. It's really in one name or the other. It's all my wife's anyway. So I did not know that was something that Russia may have. Yeah, in Australia also you can get like homeowner renters insurance. In Russia, I don't think it even exists. We were kind of happy the guy left at the time. The bathroom door was missing. He'd broken the bathroom door and it was gone. Luckily, he kept the handles and the latches. That day we turned up, he was literally moving out when we got there. He was hoping to have gone, I think, before we got there that day to see the mess, so he didn't have to front more money to pay for the door that was missing. And yeah, it needed a lot of fixing and tidying and cleaning and scrubbing. We got Czech heritage, always rooted for Ivan Lendl. Yes, He went on and played golf for a little while afterwards, didn't he? Oh, Bald never finished doing the Trans-Siberian. That's where he ended up getting stopped eventually, like a few towns from the end of the trip. Grozny in Chechnya is another great place to visit. Thanks. Yeah, I'm kind of definitely more open to going on these trips now. Even going to see the football and back. Like I just brushed it off. I'll just go to the airport. I booked the ticket at lunchtime. I went at 7 p.m. I flew from Vnukovo, which is only up the road from where we live. So it was like it was nothing. Russia's a super interesting place. It's working. Oh, so okay, that's where I was mixed up. There was a Janice and Jackie comment right at the same time. Why don't you wheat with your wife? Not sure what we would wheat. Everything is okay. Everything okay. Would you like to? I need to go and do that, Wayne. Yes, the museum trolleybus route. I need to go figure out which one it is. I think it's like A or something, or B. It's like a pretty simple route, and just jump on it and ride around. Yes, they're modern. These are the new trolley buses that are on that route as well. Oh, to crook. Okay, well, I don't think we're going to be doing that. Hopefully, you won't replace your furniture with the IKEA ones. Well, we don't really have that choice here because there's no IKEA anymore. There is Hof though, but there's a ton of furniture manufacturers in Russia which are far better than really what IKEA or a Hof is. Share your thoughts on challenges of learning the language. Well, I need to do lessons to learn the language. Then I probably would be more challenged about learning the language. Yeah, it's just a matter of being disciplined and having lessons. Either you have them in person or online, and you'd need at least 2, maybe 3 per week to get really deep into it and not feel like, I think the older you are, the harder it is to learn and to soak up and take in the language. Yevgenia's not here today. She's in bed already. But thank you for saying hello to Yevgenia. I think that's what EV means. Yeah, Stan. So yeah, it's a matter of doing lessons to learn the language. And then it's up to you then embracing it. That's up to anybody who wants to learn the language, how much they embrace learning it. That's why I sold all my rental properties here. Yeah, I mean, the guy that we've got now, literally, he came to look at it because we listed it while we were doing the kitchen remodeling. We did it over about 5 days. And I was there I literally went over there and back. I should have stayed over one night because it would have been easier than going home, going back again, going home. And the guy came to look at it while we were still building the kitchen, and there was still, wood shavings on the floor and everything. And then he gave the money to my wife, like the deposit. Then he's like, "Oh, I'll come back." And literally that afternoon, he came back and started putting some bags already there. I'm like, "Well, it's not finished for a couple of days." He's like, "No worries." And that's the same guy to this day that lives there. He sends the rent exactly on the day of the month that he's meant to send it. And he's never been any problems. We've been back to check the place. I don't know how long ago it was, 3 or 4 months ago. And absolutely immaculately clean. Route T is the museum route. Thanks. Route T. I thought it was A, but I guess it's T. Yeah, this guy now, I mean, this is a private rental. I mean, the place that we rented here, we went through the guy had it listed with a real estate agent, but we deal with the owner directly. So I don't know why there's a real estate agent involved. I guess just for the signing of the document. Can you do a video at the museum in Red Square? The museum in Red Square. Where isn't the museum? There's the shopping center. You had up yesterday. Where was it at? Oh, the one from yesterday. The grocery store video that you had up yesterday. Where was it at? So the one in Kaluga, which was the Pitorichka video, that's 200 kilometers southwest of Moscow. Kaluga region or Kaluga city, I guess. The one in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, is, I don't know, 4 hours flight east of Russia, east of Moscow. So that was 200 kilometers. I think I put provincial, Russian typical provincial supermarket. I keep changing it between provincial and regional. It's trolleybus route T. Yeah, there is a guy that's in my Telegram chat who goes out and takes loads of photos of trolleybuses and trams all the time. And I keep asking him, can I come along with you and go on a bit of a mission to go see these bus or trolley routes? Now the museum in Red Square. Where was it at in Russia or somewhere else? Yeah, I hope that answers it. Interesting. When you worked on cruise ship, what kind of work did you do? I worked in the onboard duty-free shops. I did that for 19 years, all up, from the first to the last contract. And I worked always doing the alcohol and tobacco section. So the duty-free shop's similar to an airport duty-free store where there's alcohol and tobacco for sale. I was doing that part of the shops. They also had jewelry, souvenirs, things like that. Yeah, I loved it. It was very difficult. It was actually probably not as difficult to give it up at the end because of COVID, which basically ended my career on ships. But it was an easier transition to land than me just getting off and then going back to real life the next day. I kind of knew that cruise ships wasn't going to happen again. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be 2 years, but I knew at that point when COVID happened, it was going to be an extended layoff of the ships and working on ships. Santa Monica. I never got to Santa Monica Boulevard. I did the cruise ships out of, oh my gosh, where do the cruise ships sail out of LA from? Where is the container port in Los Angeles? It's not a particularly pretty area where the cruise ships sail from in Los Angeles. I forgot the name of it. You're going to type it in the comments, I think. Long Beach. Yes, thank you. In Long Beach. It's not the prettiest place to cruise out of there, but we did the cruises down to the Acapulco, Cabo San Lucas, Zihuatanejo. And then I've also done the cruise up the East Coast, going back to Alaska as well. A lot of videos. I think you said it was the State Historical Museum. I've not actually done a video in there physically, but I've definitely walked around that area of Red Square and Alexander Garden and then Plochett Revoluce area right there. I've been to the museum a couple of times, but not made a video physically inside there. Your videos get better and better. I look forward to seeing each one. God bless you and Jen. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, so I've got 3 videos coming up that I've got on my phone right here. And if anybody can notice a difference in the Tashkent or Uzbekistan supermarket video, let me know if there's a difference in the filming of it or the sound or picture quality. Oh, San Pedro. Sorry. Yeah, so San Pedro I've sailed out of when I worked on Norwegian Cruise Line. Long Beach is where the Carnival cruise ships sail out of, which is where the Queen Mary is. So I've sailed out of San Pedro, not out of Long Beach. That's the container port, really. I love your content and energy. You look like a very nice guy. Yes. About your experience in Russia. Why with my parents? Because I'm interested in Russian culture. Oh, there we go. You watch a lot of videos with your parents. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of English speaking content creators now. So definitely got lots of choice of channels to watch of different creators. And I guess different perspective of life in Russia if you're not watching a Russian-born English-speaking content creator. That's really nice. Hope your parents like watching them too. Some I love watching cruise ship videos as well. Yes, there's a channel called I Like Cruise Ships. If you watch a couple of videos on that, you might recognize somebody. I really wanted to make that the channel that this is now. But just when I started doing a couple of Russian videos on that channel, between contracts, I made some videos in Moscow. I Like Cruise Ships channel. It just didn't resonate with the audience, right? They always tell you don't confuse your audience by putting different niches on the same channel. So I ended up making a separate channel, and this is what came out of it. Part of it is how necessary it is in your daily life. So even, yes, correct. Exactly right. I was surrounded by English speaking, so even if I tried Polish, they'd reply in English. I lived in China and nobody spoke English, so it was necessary for me to quickly pick up some basic phrases. Right. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, most, like, for instance, yesterday when I went out and did the video at Petrovsky Passage, okay, funny enough, I went to get a burger at the shopping center, which is where I thought the fishing expo was. And the guy recognized me. I literally walked up to buy a burger at the place I always do. And he's like, "Oh, Russell, hello. How's your channel?" And he's a subscriber. So I had just a quick hello with him. The next person I talked to was when I was at the Eternal Flame, which is Alexander Garden. And another subscriber came up to who happened to be British, who was in Moscow with his girlfriend, who was Russian. And he just recognized me when I was watching the changing of the guard at the Eternal Flame. We chatted for about 5 or 10 minutes about him coming to Russia and how he likes it, walking around and everything. And that was it. I didn't speak to another person between there and going home, literally. I said hello to the bus driver on my local bus from the metro station to my house. So that's the whole thing. I don't have that interaction with people that I need to definitely know the language. I mean, it would help and it would be nice. And I feel bad that I don't know more Russian, but I can imagine in China you would need more to know more, I guess, Mandarin or Cantonese, depending on what you needed to know. Wow. Moscow reminds you of some parts of Chicago. I mean, I've been to Boston on the cruise ships, and to see the old city areas with the brick houses and stuff like that, and the is it Quincy Hall? No, Nathaniel Hall as well, that area as well. Of that Guru in Somalia. Yeah, you guys need it if you want to watch a gardening channel. I mean, I don't promote another YouTuber just for you to go click and open another YouTuber's channel and subscribe and stuff. I mean, the whole thing with telling people to watch another channel is that you want to watch it for the content. So if you want to watch gardening videos and, life, and also his channel is very unique because it's about exotic plants in England, which is probably not a very big niche of gardeners that do that. Maybe it's bigger than I realized, but that's why I kind of took a little bit of a liking to it. Today I was watching a live stream where they help you to grow your YouTube channel. And a lot of people don't have channels with something of a similar niche, or they have a lot of gaming channels, which just doesn't mean a lot to me. So it was, easy to look at your channel or his channel. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat, not I'm looking at the camera. And I can find a lot of things about the channel, which is quite simple fixes and changes and tweaks, that may hopefully make your channel grow. I Like Cruise Ships. Yeah, that was the name of my channel. That was my cruise ship channel. I think it's got 17,000 subscribers. It's still earning AdSense revenue to this day. Pretty much, what I really should have done was make videos 5 or 10 years ago, not 2 years, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But I made some how to get to the beach videos, some port cruise terminal walk around videos, and they're still getting views because it's still relevant to people going on cruises to those locations. Yes, government motorcades. Well, basically, a lot of the government fly out of Vnukovo Airport, which is on the highway. So I can hear the cars going on the highway with the window open. The Kiev highway is right here, or Kievka Chaussee, which goes to the center of Moscow, which passes Vnukovo Airport. And they've got Vnukovo 2, which is the basically second part of the airport where a lot of the government flights go in and out of. And they literally close the highway. There's traffic lights on the highway. and they close all of the exits leading into the center of Moscow, and that's it. Sorry, if you're in traffic, that's it. Until they eventually clear these motorcades, as they talk about them. If you're in the center of Moscow walking around, like yesterday I was, you'll see occasionally, mostly just government vehicles, there'll be one car leading another car where they've got the lights on. They just go through every traffic light they like. They cross over to the other side of the road as they like. And I don't believe that there's an emergency that they've got to get somewhere quickly. I mean, I don't drive a car, so I don't probably experience the traffic like that. But sometimes when I'm on the bus, I do. But yes, definitely, they just close all the roads from the Kremlin, the Red Square, to the State Duma, and then the different buildings around the center of Moscow, Central Bank. That's it. So yes, it is as bad, but it's not often. But when you're stuck in it, you realize that normally it's some kind of a motorcade going somewhere A to B. I love your videos. Thank you so much. Quincy Market. Oh, there you go. Quincy Hall. Yes, and having clam chowder there as well. Yeah, I also went to see a Red Sox game on one of the port stops. The ship I was on out of Boston was going to Bermuda and back. Thanks, Blix. Employee says that mixing niches on a channel is good and can get more people to watch the channel. I don't completely agree with that, even though he's a YouTube employee. I don't know what he's thinking to say that, because it just confuses the audience. Even my videos, it's very strange. Not strange, but so one video can get 200,000 views, 300,000 views, 1 million views. And the next video can get stuck on 10 or 20 or 30,000 views. And, the thing with my channel being Traveling with Russell, a lot of people watch the channel for me, not necessarily for the content of where I travel to. So a lot of people watch it for the person's name of the channel. And I can be going anywhere. I can go to watch paint dry on a wall and make a video about it. People will watch it. And then, for instance, paint drying videos will attract people who like doing home renovating. But they may not want to watch it for me talking about paint drying. They might want to learn about paint drying. I'm getting a bit off track here, but if I then look at different videos that I've made on the channel, so I've gone to a few different conventions. So if I go to a car convention or a truck convention, they get a lot of views. If I go to a dog convention or a fishing one, they don't get a lot of views. The supermarkets, like the one just now, I did 2 that had the Tucker Carlson title. So the first one was going to the different places, and that was really a kind of a cool video because I got it into one video together, and it made a bit of a story of the video, and it got a ton of views. The next video was just solely at the same supermarket he went to, and it didn't get a lot of views. So is the niche different? I mean, niching down to doing only supermarkets or only shopping centers, yes, that's a niche. But I still want to show other aspects of living in Russia. And then like going to Kaluga, going to Tashkent, going to Kyrgyzstan. Now there's a few videos from Ufa, where my wife is from. So I don't really agree about mixing the niches because that person that's clicked for certain content is hoping for more of that content. And if it doesn't come and the next video gets shown to them and they don't click it, it basically creates a confusion in the algorithm, and then it doesn't recommend them more videos and they don't watch, and then the statistics go down. Waiting for exclusive liquor update. I want to go to a wholesale market here. Well, it's retail wholesale, which has got a ton of liquor stores in it, where people go buying bulk from them. I don't really drink to do vodka tasting, though. Working on a cruise ship sounds like fun. How many hours a day did you work? I know that many of the cooks work very long days. I will focus more on your current channel. So the cruise ship that I was working on at the end there, we were doing 70 hours a week, 10 hours per day. You generally work 12 to 14 hours a day. There's a lot of rules now that are part of like health and safety. I forgot the name of it. I've not even been that way long away from ships. There's a lot of health and safety guidelines about your working hours, that you can legally work and you can't legally work. The what's it called? International Convention at Sea. There's like laws at sea where you've got to be provided with adequate working conditions, living conditions, food conditions, and the working hours when you clock on and clock off are all logged and recorded. Your break times, your sleep times, like how much rest you've got to have between shifts, are all very much controlled. So even like the cooks, they work breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They've still got time off in between. That's the thing with cruise ships. The job you choose maybe dictates how much more or less work you do. The shops, we were closed in all the ports, so that was our off time. Then we worked in the evenings or the days at sea. That's when we really worked, 9 in the morning till 11 at night. So you really do work a lot of hours in a few days in a row. Then you have a lot of off time after that, so you take the good and the bad. But basically 70 hours a week was like a legal 10 hours per day, and how they work out that shift in that 10 hours can vary, So, even you could do 14 hours one day and 6 or 5 hours the next day, right? It still adds up the same. Loved your Larder, that Larder festival video. That was about a year and a half ago. I went there with a couple of friends who were also YouTubers, who I met from YouTube, and I had created a little Telegram group of English-speaking YouTubers. And they don't really do YouTube anymore. She does occasionally make a video. Her husband is a expert car painter and resprayer and detailer of painting of cars. And he does like the tanks on motorbikes and helmets. And when we were there, I didn't really film most of it with them, but he was just geeking out at the some of the body work on some of the cars and the paint work. It was a hot day that day too. We were just dying by the end of that day because we'd walked a lot, and then it was just roasting hot out there. It was basically a huge field where we went to. I like it when people invite me to these kind of things because, one, I get to see something completely different, and two, they know where it is, how to get there, how to get back, and things like that. No children. No, we don't have any children. I'm trying to go and meet Uaz. So Uaz make the bohanka, or the loaf. Looks like a crazy combi van. It's a Russian-made vehicle. And I'm trying to, in the next probably about 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to try to meet up with at one of the car dealerships that have got UAZ cars, with one of the PR guys that will let me take a press car. You know how car dealerships lend cars to YouTubers, to the press, to TV, whatever, news, to film content about them. And I'm trying to work out, I don't know how we're going to do it, either borrow a car or take one out for the day, riding somewhere, and make a video about it. Just brand every video Tucker Carlson. Yes. There is a few YouTubers that have done that recently, and they've, this is what Tucker Carlson could have seen in XYZ city or place, and why didn't Tucker Carlson come to this place in Russia? Cabins were for 2 people. They had a bathroom. We actually, as staff on the ship, it's better conditions in terms of the size of the room. We also had a cabin steward who made up our rooms every day. We paid him, of course, or tipped him. We were 2 to a room with our own bathroom. General crew on the ship are 2 rooms with a common bathroom in between, with a double door that locked from either side. Well looked after. I mean, these my last lot of ships were brand new ships or new ships from the shipyard. The quality of life on the ships is far better than it was 20, 30 years ago. I mean, the messes, the food, the crew facilities, TVs in our rooms, fridges, DVD players, interactive television with movies on. Yeah, heard some bad stuff. Yeah, don't really listen to people who say that it's all bad, because that's really, ship life is what it is, and that's the ships aren't built for crew; they're built for the guests. So, thank you, Tigrak. Thank you so much, everybody. What time we at? We'll go for 9 more minutes, I think. We love you, Russell. Thank you, Fly Sky. Thank you so much. Can you film some old Soviet cafe shops? I will try to. I want to go to my local Rinuk down the road. Imagine I've lived here so many years and I've not filmed in my local food market or Rinuk. And I probably should. Just go for a wander where I live and just show local shops. I've seen footage of kitchen crew all stacked up in small cabins. I guess that's older ships, maybe not necessarily new ships. Depending on the cruise lines, pretty much even crew cabins, you've got bunk beds, there's wardrobes, there's if you've got the common bathroom between 2 cabins, you'll have a sink in your room, and then the bathroom in the middle has got a toilet and a shower. So as you walk in one door, you lock the door on the opposite side. But if you go on the new ships, it's different altogether to older ships. Some of the oldest cruise ships had communal bathrooms, so they'd have maybe 10 cabins or 15 cabins in a block, and then they have communal showers and communal toilets. Depends on the age of the ships, really, as to what facilities were provided, because they just weren't built with modern facilities 20, 30, 40 years ago. I'm a Muscovite, and I learn more about videos from your videos about Moscow than other sources, especially the tram on the Moscow River. I haven't heard about them anywhere. I only saw them in your videos. Yeah, I filmed 2 videos doing that. So I did the one in summer when they opened, and I was there the first day, which was really cool. And then I did the second one, about a month ago. I just went out on a sunny day. Completely happy that I went and did it on that cold. It was very cold that day, but the blue skies. It doesn't feel as cold when it's like blue skies and sunny. And I met some really nice people. Actually, in that video, when I walk inside the river tram and people are waving or smiling and looking at the camera, I stood in line with them prior to going on board and met a few different families. So they were completely comfortable. They just obviously, when I'm talking and turning the camera around, they're a little bit hesitant. And then even the one when I did the one in summertime, we were in line quite a long time in line because it was very busy that day. And I almost knew every person on that tram by first name basis by the end of it. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that you learnt about that. That's the whole thing I find in Moscow. I'm the same way. I find out about things after they happen or events happen. And I wish I knew more things ahead of time to go to more events. There's so many events in Moscow on a daily basis that I just don't know about them because there's just not enough ways to tell everybody that something's happening. Do the sanctions hit? I guess coffee. Well, there's no coffee produced in Russia. So coffee that's for sale in Russia is it's all imported, but it's imported as beans or ground, and then it's repackaged, or it's imported already packaged. Most of it's produced domestically for the Russian market from companies that import the beans for local processing. So I guess the price of coffee is up a little. I don't say lots because my wife drinks coffee, I don't. So where things don't affect me, I can't really speak about the changes or sanctions on things like that. There isn't sanctions necessarily on things. It's companies that are choosing not to do business in Russia. And it's not a sanction. It's just a company that's choosing to not do business. Sanctions essentially are things like the banking sanctions where they've cut off SWIFT. They've cut off Visa and MasterCard for international card usage in Russia. Or a Russian card can't be used out of the country. So that's where a sanction affects something. But I was wondering, have you noticed what is relative between YouTube files, likes, comments, length of video? Odd question. Excuse me. But I was wondering, have you noticed what is the relationship between YouTube? Yeah, I do tend to do, most of my videos tend to be 20 to 30, 40-minute videos. I don't tend to do too many shorter videos, like 8 or 10 or 12 minutes. So, you know, mine's more the long game, and especially a lot of my videos are titled that they can be watched forever. I'm trying to get even a lot of the older videos change the titles from Russia under sanctions after 8 months, 9 months, 10 months to naming it after places, so that people possibly would find that in search later, where they'd look for a specific location. Obviously, when videos get more views, they get more likes, more thumbs ups and downs. I get thumbs down on every single video. Doesn't matter if it's flowers in the garden, if it's raining outside, if it's beautiful and sunny, I'll still get thumbs down on videos. I can't avoid that because people are keyboard warriors who just want to do what they like when they're watching videos, but they're still watching. So hello in Maui, Hawaii. Aloha and mahalo. Man, I miss Hawaii. I did a couple of contracts on Norwegian Star. That was in Hawaii. I think now still Pride of America is still there, right? Sailing out of Honolulu. I sailed on Pride of Aloha. Pride of Aloha was originally there, or was there, and Pride of America is the one. And there was also Pride of Hawaii, which got renamed. Pride of America I cruised on for a vacation. Actually, the company paid for the cruise for me. I didn't even pay for it. Although I have lived in Moscow since birth. Yeah, not everybody knows. I mean, that's a thing. Even I'd like to know more about everything as well. And even my wife is like shocked when I go to events. Do you compete with Mr. Bold? I don't compete with him at all. No, he travels a lot further afield than I do. He does a little bit more vlogging style videos where he takes his camera out and goes somewhere and films whatever he sees. I'm in my 40s. Costa Fortuna. David, how's it going? Long time no see. I was kind of on and off the Telegram the last week because I did 2 different trips over the course of a week pretty much. So there's a long Russian comment here. Hopefully it's very nice. Hopefully. Thank you for your videos. Let them see in the West how Russia really lives. It's like this not only in Moscow, so clean everywhere and the stores are full of products. Yes, very true. Gorik Koropatian. My gosh, that's a bit of a tongue twister. Yeah, I mean, not everywhere is beautiful. I mean, I'll admit that. I mean, even I walked to my local shop today. I had to go get dishwashing liquid to do the washing the dishes in the kitchen. And with the snow melting now, it's not as clean, and we need a bit of rain to wash away the dirty snow and the dirty water from when the snow melts. And I mean, not everywhere is beautiful, but there's a lot of beauty in Russia as a place as a whole. I don't listen to any music. I literally don't. I'm sorry. My wife has Spotify, and I know she does. How do you compare grass to hard courts? Grass, you can fall and it doesn't hurt. You can do Boris Becker dives on grass. You can do really proper, when you go just play around with friends, you can jump and dive around everywhere on grass. Hard courts, you can't. You can slide on hard courts. We had plexi cushion in the tennis club I was at, so you could slide on them. The new rebound day, so hard courts now, you see the pros sliding, but it's not as easy to do it as it looks on TV. Grass doesn't bounce as much, so you've got to be definitely a lot lower to the ground playing on grass. It's a lot slower too. You can play a lot of older people like playing on grass because it's a slower game, and it's better on your knees because it's a bit more forgiving. I do know Different Russia channel. Yes, they live in the northeast of Moscow. In what's the name of the Shelkova? I think they call it Shelkova city. I forgot the name of the town they mention in their videos. They're on the kind of the opposite of Moscow to me. when I made the video in Globus about a month ago, the Russian typical German supermarket video, that was in Korolov, which is not far from where they live. They live just a little bit further from there. I don't know them. I've never met them. I've seen their videos. Their dog Sheffy. Did you make a video about? I haven't been to the Moscow exhibition to make a video. I've been there to see it with my wife. In the evening light shows. Yes, I need to go in the afternoon, evening to get the light shows. I need to go on my own without my wife because it's easy to film and walk around on my own and do my own thing to make the video. I have a friend who is actually doing some of the lighting and effects for this, who's a YouTuber also that works for a company that's doing some of the sound and lighting setup for it. I'm in Moscow. Diet Moroz. This is my Moscow kitchen video. Yeah, I never do. Even when I went on the 2 trips, I probably should have done a video in Tashkent, but I didn't, like a live stream, but I didn't. I ever fought a kangaroo? No, I haven't. You're so cute and kind. Thank you. Milanitsa. Thank you so much. Past my time, I guess, but yeah, Concur. Never played on grass though. Yeah, it's very nice to play on grass. I mean, I played on that. This is the tennis courts where I played for a lot of years, so you get used to it, right? But if you play on it for the first time after playing on other surfaces, it's just very different. Like the ball just doesn't bounce up. You ever watch them playing at Wimbledon? And then it can just bounce wickedly depending on how firm the grass courts are. Wow, you subscribed when I was only 3,000 subscribers. Wow. Now he's 137. Yeah, it's really crazy. The growth of the channel. Okay, everybody. I think I'm going to head off. I think we've had a nice chat. I think 84 people still watching live. We've got 186 likes. So we definitely went past 50 or 100 likes, which is amazing. Which is really, really amazing. We gained 1 new member. Thank you so much, Blex, for signing up as a member. Thank you, Bearable Cruising, Peter, Brian, and Jackie. Thank you for your super stickers, super chats. Sorry, Jackie. Right, that yours came right as the computer kind of froze. So I'm sorry if I didn't really properly acknowledge the super chat at the time. Blex is off to the wife. Yes, I'm going to de-stress a little, and then I'll head to bed myself very soon. It's 10:51 here in Moscow. I need to edit one video 100% tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm going to go out filming tomorrow or not yet. Joseph, hello. How's things? Oh, 193. I think we can scrape 7 more likes to get to 200 before I sign off. What do you reckon? Should we count them down? Maybe. I think everybody who's watching has probably liked the video already, so I'm probably asking way too much to get to 200 likes. But yeah, if you haven't watched the previous 3 videos, definitely go back and have a look and catch up. There's a lot of old videos too. There's really a ton of videos. If you want to search by oldest first, when you maybe go look at all the videos on the channel, probably you'll see how bad my filming and editing was back then, and maybe it's definitely improved now. The last 3 videos, the one was at the Kaluga Pitorichka supermarket. If you want to see something not in Moscow. Petrovsky Passage was the shopping center I went to yesterday in the center of Moscow. And then the one prior to that was the one in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, a supermarket there. Thank you, Jackie, for liking. Oh, maybe yours was magically 200. I had to restart my phone. I could not use the keypad. Oh, that's a bit of a... It's very rare that I restart my phone as well. Really wish you had some... Yeah, I only noticed it. Okay, well, you noticed it when you first walked in the shopping center entrance. When I went up on that second level, it was like it was wafting up there. I just realized maybe I didn't get the right spelling on the word. When did Google auto translates? I wonder if how it wrote that wafting. As you know, yes, I need to do more of them. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Do more live streams. Keep up with the community of here and on Telegram. I wonder how many we got. 2,000. Let me pull up. Let me see if I can do this. We can't really show it, but I can definitely read the number. Traveling with Russell channel has 2,226 subscribers. So if anyone wants to join the channel, let me post the link. It'll make people leave to do that, though. That's the channel right there. And then the chat, which is the one that I know David is definitely in. There's 735 people, and there's currently 157 people online. It doesn't mean they're chatting, but definitely I see David here. I see Vitali, Amanda, Lydia, and some other names. So yeah, if you want to join us over on Telegram, I'm literally active there around the clock, or as much as I'm using my phone. I'm definitely there and active, and other people are. Russians have a tradition. A man comes after work, makes sandwiches, takes a beer, and sits down to play on the computer. This is World of Tanks, Dota, CS. I don't play video games. No, I do sit on this computer a lot, though. And my wife is wishing the days shorter until we find a place to live and buy and move in, that I'll be able to put this computer in a separate room, not in the kind of kitchen lounge room it's in now. I don't play any games at all. The only game I was playing, what's it called? I haven't played it for a long time. Airport CEO. But I've not played it forever because I get a bit too addicted to it. It's building airports. It's like SimCity, but airports. I literally just go on YouTube. I work on the channel. I answer comments on Telegram. I watch other YouTubers to see if something I can do better. Thank you so much. Another city in Russia like Siberia and Vladivostok. Diet Moroz. I'd love to just jump around everywhere. Thank you, Peter. Yes, thank you so much for the super sticker earlier too. The one about the supermarket deliveries was awesome. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was a cool video. That where I went to the dark store to show. I think that's the one you're talking about, right? The dark store came out a lot better than what the video came out a lot better than the way I filmed it, which was kind of nice. So Sam just posted a video showing. Well, yes, he went to Metro, but the store was really expensive. It's not really expensive. There's definitely more expensive supermarkets. Perikrostok is basically a level above. Metro is a membership supermarket where they sell in bulk or in larger quantities, where you need a membership to go there. Very similar to Sam's Club, or what's the other one in America? Not Sam's Club. Costco, I guess you could call it like Costco. And Sam goes there because it's quiet and it's got longer trading hours and there's not people there and he can walk around and not feel stressed with people. I wouldn't say it's expensive, Metro, compared to other supermarkets in Moscow or in Vladimir, where he's from. Metro is not a nice... It's not a very nice looking store either. Yeah, it's really very much like Costco. It's like big racks, concrete floors, very spacious and easy to walk around. I've definitely got one video at least in Metro that I made last year. I think it's, if you look at the description, like cash and curry supermarket. I did a video at one of the metros close to where I live. Donation alerts. I only had one donation alerts today, 1 hour ago, from Anonymous. If you're doing that, thank you, Jackie, for another super sticker. Thank you so much. That's really very, very nice of you. Really and truly. Thank you, whoever's doing hearts or where you're clicking things. People clicking things, and I can't control that. There's like the one where you can do hearts and fireworks in the chat. Yeah, there's a heart. Whoever's doing hearts, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It looks like we're going to end up getting to the 2-hour mark and logging off exactly right on my 2-hour mark. Don't forget your chocolate next time. I only have a chocolate wrapper here. I had this much earlier today, some Alpine Gold. If that's what you mean, Ross, I'm not sure. They have very little fresh pod juice. Yes, that's the thing with Metro. They're not about that really. I can understand why he went there to make the video, because it's quieter, it's easy to walk around, it's spacious. The metros are always so spacious to go around. Yes, Metro is German, or Metro. It's easy to mix up the Metro here, which is the underground train system. Thank you, Peter, for another super sticker. Thank you. It's very, very nice of people who do these. I appreciate it no end. It basically creates an easier ecosystem to live and to make videos and produce videos and basically go about my life here in Moscow, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain, but why leaving Australia? Well, because my wife has got Australian. She hasn't got citizenship, but she's got an Australian residency for Australia, and we decided to move back 2 years ago, probably just over 2 years ago, because my wife had some health issues that she had to deal with. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. Yeah. God, I love chocolate. Yes, me too. I don't have any others on the table. I just have that wrapper. Sorry. This is like 50 rubles for a bar of Alpine Gold. So 50 cents, 50 euro cents. 60, 70 Australian cents. No, about 80 cents Australian. I use whatever toothpaste in the bathroom. I don't go and buy it. My wife buys that sort of thing. That's a strange question, but that's YouTube, right? So thanks, everybody. 1 hour 57. We're right on 2 hours. Brian, thank you for the super sticker again. So Brian, Jackie, Peter, Blex, and Bearbull, thank you so much. Wow. It's like very nice of everybody. I really appreciate it. It makes YouTube easier. Let's put it that way. The YouTube AdSense, that's what creates, YouTube creates and puts on ads. Especially if you've got a lot of Russian viewers, it isn't helpful in Russia. So doing these sort of live streams just basically makes up for that, to a point. So yes, I need to go to bed soon as well. I'll wait your virtual trip on the Google Map. Oh, I'll wait for your virtual trip on. Oh, yes. I didn't forget about that. We'll have to do a definite title. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to have a live stream where people tell us where they live, and we're going to pull up Google Maps and have a look on Google Maps where people live, or thereabouts. Night. Yes, Mr. Jamo. Indoor theme park was great. Yes, and I got to take my wife on that day as well. So that took nearly a year to be able to get tickets to go to do that. Rather than me just paying for the tickets and going. We actually got a little bit of a tour of the place beforehand, where they talked about all the different thematic areas of the park. And then we could stay there and make a video, which I did. And the guy loved it, by the way. The guy that was the PR for the theme park and the people that work in their PR and media section loved that video. Even though it's probably not as amazing because I didn't film things on rides, but Thank you, Munich, for watching. Greetings, Chester. But yes, would you like to go? I've been there a lot of times, Talion. I've not made videos necessarily. I've walked around there. I want to go to the new nuclear pavilion. There's a nuclear power and everything nuclear pavilion. Oh, Red October, the chocolate factory. Yeah, I need to go to the one where the kids go with school when they go to it. The one in Moscow is really just a gift shop in the actual Red October building. Yes, they don't make them easier to leave. Jackie, that's very true. Because I'm too gracious and too humble and too... I know how hard it is to earn money. I did it on cruise ships for a lot of years. And save money and be careful with money and not waste money. And for people to give that as a donation to me because of the channel, it's, you know, it's very humbling that I get them. So mate, honestly, it's completely fine. I mean, I understand everyone's got something going on, and my wife and I too. I mean, we're trying to save to buy an apartment. Well, we're not gonna be able to buy it. The bank's going to help us buy it, basically. So I understand totally. I mean, that whole idea, my crazy idea thing with 44 rubles, which is 50 cents. That's my forever crazy idea thing. Your mum's watching. Hello, Mrs. Joanna. I don't know any Portuguese. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for not knowing Portuguese. We'll bump my sub. Oh, new member. Oh, what happened there? New member. Thank you. Oh, what, Brian? Thank you. Okay, so all right, so Brian, thank you again for the live session. You're very welcome. Thank you. Oh my gosh. So it doesn't show when I click it here, but if anyone sees in the live chat, upgraded to Russell's Shopping Lovers, which is the second level of membership. I was thinking of doing like 4 levels and doing all the different ones that people all do on YouTube. I just added the second one because people keep asking to. This is what all YouTubers do, and all YouTubers have it. I just don't promote and push it and tell everybody that you should do that and do this, because that's personal choice, right? So I'd love to make one thing I'd like to do is I'd like someone to film me and edit me doing the things that I do. And if I could do that, I could make more videos more often, quicker, easier, and better. And that's what I'd like to do with this channel. If there's a way to do that, then it would make making more videos easier, because the bit I struggle with is not the filming and being on camera and going out and filming. That's easy. It's basically the editing bit and making it into a video to put on the channel. That's the bit that if someone could do that bit for me, then all would be good, because I could easily do the TV channel part and grab a mic and go out somewhere and show you something and be enthusiastic. So no pressure on anyone. Yes. Relux, thank you also for being a member. Thank you, Alex. What's your opinion about public transport? I've talked about it a few times tonight. I love it. I love Russian public transport as a whole. I mean, okay, even when we were out in, I don't know the area. In the south of Moscow, we went to our friend's dacha. We caught the train down there, caught the public buses to the local town to go shopping. My dad was a bus driver all his life, by the way, until retirement. So I kind of grew up catching buses and riding with him on weekends when I just go sit on the bus when he'd do the bus routes. So public transport's in my blood from my dad being a bus driver. He was a public bus driver in Perth in Australia. Pretty much most of his life till he retired. So yeah, okay. Now I'm going to go. Thanks, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed the live stream. Comment on this afterwards if you like. You're more than welcome to post a comment. I will try to catch up with comments for a little bit after this. And watch an old video. Really, there's a few that haven't had a lot of views recently. And a few others we now decided to move to Russia, the British. Go and look at a channel called Russian Travels. Russian Travels, 2 words. It's a British guy that lives in Orenburg. I chat to him frequently on Telegram. Might be interesting to watch a couple of his videos. He's a new YouTuber that's just started creating content in provincial Russia, Orenburg. So yeah, either Russian Travels or Sam's Russian Adventures. He's a British guy, lives up in Vladimir. You want to see 2 different British guys making videos? Bartender or shelf stacker on a bus. Yes. We to work in a supermarket. I'd like to work in my Krasnobila downstairs and sort that place out. That's what I need to do. I've been to Rod Laver Arena. Yes, I went for a week to watch the Australian Open quite a lot of years ago, about 10 years ago or more. Went over to Melbourne, had a whole week going to all the day sessions and then having seated tickets for Rod Laver Arena for the night sessions. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yes. Okay, that's it. No more chatting. End of live stream. 212 likes. Thank you for super chats, super stickers, super thanks, donation alerts, everything. Later, everybody. Bye. Ooh, end stream. Bye, everybody.